guys, so I'm going to show you how to make a foldable template that is for the elements of art. So these things I have hanging in my classroom. Most art teachers do. We just normally don't bring them up that often, but there's things that you guys probably already know and already talked about. They're pretty easy. So I'm going to make a little cheat sheet for you. You can use this during the school year. You can take this with you to middle school. You talk about them more when you get up into the older grades, especially when you take the art classes there. So I folded the two flaps into the middle. And now I am measuring, I think I did 7 sections, but I went down about 1 1/4 inches. So I just wanted to measure it with a ruler just so I could get each section to look the same. But however you want to measure it out or go lines across is up to you. So once I get all the way down here, then I'm going to make the lines going across. And what we're making is that we're going to put the element of art word on the top, and then on the inside is going to give the definition to what it is. So it's kind of like making like a little note card for art. Now on the top here, each word that I do, I'm going to make it look like what it is. So obviously lines, I'm making different kinds of lines to go with it. For the other ones like shapes and color, you'll see me do different things to make it look like what it is. So then you look at the front, you should know what the definition for that is. It'll help you remember it. Do whatever you want to do though, you don't have to copy exactly what I'm doing if you want to switch it up and draw something different for them. Or you could do it the opposite way, where you just write them regular on the outside and then you can draw what it is on the inside instead of writing what it is. Right, so I'm going to speed up the video here and I'm going to start the color and then I'll slow it back down a bit so that I can do the definitions.
Music Band.
Alright, so now that you got the front all done, we are going to open it up and we are going to do the definitions on the inside. I slightly open them up and put the line where it goes so that I can draw those lines on the inside just so they matched up. So those tiny little marks, I'm going to take my ruler and just make a line going across. Alright, so for each one of these, I am just going to read what it is, and then at the end, then we'll cut it and it'll be all finished. Alright, so for this one, you're going to write a line is a mark on the surface that describes a shape or an outline. It could also create texture. Right, for this one, I said a shape is a two-dimensional line with no form or thickness. And shapes are flat. So two-dimensional shapes are flat. When we talk about three-dimensional, that's called a form. So for shapes, it is geometric or organic when it comes to shape. So like a square would be geometric, organic would be something more flowy and free form. Now, form is a three-dimensional object having volume and thickness. So this is where the 3D comes in. 2D would be shape, 3D would be form. And I am just going to draw a box here and just make it look 3D. Space is the area around or between your objects or images. So there's negative space and positive space, which I totally forgot to write on here, but we'll get more into that maybe in your classrooms when you do projects. Color is made up of three main things. There's hue, value, and intensity. So hue is the main color, value is going from light to dark, and intensity is the brightness. So whether how bright your colors are, dark blue, light blue. Value is going from like a white to a black by going from whites, a little bit darker, a little bit gray, into black. So there's two main, there's primary and secondary, which you guys should already know hopefully. Primary is red, yellow, and blue. Secondary, purple, orange, and green. So this one I brought up in the color one. So value is the amount of light and dark, adding more white or more black to a certain color. So when you do painting or any sort of coloring that you're shading, you're doing a shade when you're using black, and you're doing a tint if you're using white. And then you're actually, if you're using gray, which we don't usually use too much in the classroom, it's called a tone, but it makes everything kind of muddy, so I normally don't use that. So a shade and tint is the main ones that you guys should remember. Great. The last one is texture is something you can see or touch. Being both, you can see it or touch it. So I always teach, especially the younger kids, that there's like physical texture, something that you can actually touch and see, obviously, or just touch. And then there is visual texture, which I forgot for a second what I was writing, so it took me a while to think of it. So visual texture is something that you can only see. So this would be something in a book or something in a picture that looks like it has texture, but obviously you can't touch it. So that is all of them. I'm going to close it up. Oh, nope, I forgot I underlined all the words with a yellow marker. Then I will close it up. I'm going to cut on the lines on the outside right underneath each word so that these become open flaps, and then you can easily open and close them to see the definitions.